All right, everybody, welcome back. We are back. Another show, another day. This one is going to be a little different. I don't even know how we would describe it, but we're just going to have a little fun on X. I guess we're going to just be doing some scrolling and trolling or whatever we want to call it on our X. So we're just going to get right into it. And here we go. Let's see what we got, Hillary. All right, we're starting off here on the trending page. Here's some trends. These are like the latest trends on X. Anything jumping out at you? Oh, you know what? I saw this over here on today's news just a second ago, right before we started.
Okay.
Chip Roy calls to fire all Congress and resurface clip. Let's see.
So I haven't seen this clip.
No,
so
I haven't either.
I'm
I mean,
interested in seeing it.
this is
So
all.
let's see what Chip Roy's fired up about.
Yeah, we're just going to fire up stuff on X here and just see what we're doing.
At some point, people will look at this body and say, maybe we should get rid of all 435 members of the House and all 100 members of the Senate and start over because Congress is literally failing the American people.
Okay.
I can't say that I disagree with Chip
Nope,
Roy.
I 100% agree. Tell me more.
I feel like our Congress and senators don't really represent us. They represent foreign lobbies, special interests, donors. They don't represent people who aren't putting money in their pockets. So I would have to agree with Chip Roy here. I think it would be completely reasonable to have a reset of the Congress and the Senate. They could make it like the Hunger Games, and they basically have to fight each other to the death. And if one of them happens to survive, then they can have their seat back, and then the rest of them go on about their business, and then we can replace them. So easy enough to do, and I'd be happy to do it.
Boy, I 100% agree. I'm just kind of looking at some of the comments, see if there's anything good. Chip Roy is right by Ava Armstrong. Yep. The cross says we're already saying it. They all need to go. They're all problems. Restart term limits. I think I can agree with.
Right.
I don't know if we've talked about that much, but I think the people in Congress and Senate need term limits. The president has a term limit. I just think these people, they get in there for life and they just,
Right.
because I mean, how many times have we all heard the joke or the meme going around, like, all these senators or congressmen come in at making $100,000 or whatever they make, 150, and they all come out multimillionaires
several times over.
So they're gaming the system,
Right.
insider trading and whatever else. But okay, so yeah, I think that's a consensus across the board would say that everybody would probably be on board with starting all over with
Right.
435.
So I think that Chip Roy should put that to a vote. If he would like to
Ain't
bring
none of them gonna
that
vote
up
for
in
it.
committee, let's see if we can get it onto the House floor. Nobody's going to vote.
I don't think anybody would vote for it, so we're just chasing our tail here, I guess.
Wishful thinking. I'll put it on my Christmas list this year and see what Santa brings me.
We know, as they say, you can wish in one hand, poop in the other, and see which one fills up the quickest.
Right.
So, all right, let's see what else we got. Have you seen a lot of these where the students are walking out against ICE raids in multiple states? I mean, they're in all the different little cities. Here's Libs of TikTok. I think everybody has probably seen her work. I mean, you can see it here. Just kids are shouting out, against ICE. They're telling them to go home. It sounds like I can't quite understand them, and I don't know where they're at, but I'm just going to leave that comment to myself.
I think that those children, those schools,
there's one in Oregon.
The parents of those children should exert caution, because if any of those children
Seattle
are the children of illegal migrants, then having your child parade up and down the street holding a flag from your home nation basically makes them a target for ICE. So it's kind of like advertising, I'm not from here, come and get me. So, I think that they should be careful in doing so. And I don't think that children should be used as political ploys. I think that the adults that are putting those children into situations where they're parading up and down the sidewalks protesting, those children don't even know or understand what they're protesting. All they're doing is what the adults in their lives are telling them to do. And they don't really understand the context politically of what their actions mean. And they don't know that they're being used as a tool in a ploy to garner sympathy for illegal migrants, which If you're here illegally, you got to go home
Yep.
and start your
Absolutely.
process and do it the right way and do it the legal way. Even if it does take years and thousands of dollars,
Just do it right.
that is the process for becoming an American citizen. And if you're not willing to invest the time and the money into becoming a citizen, then being a citizen isn't valuable enough to you for you to proceed with the process, and you probably shouldn't be here. So if you're not willing to spend thousands of dollars and many years and tons of time filling out paperwork and taking classes and taking tests, then you haven't earned the right to be an American citizen, and you should stay in your home country or find another one.
All right. I agree. Even Matt Gates says defund, deport every last one of them. All right. Kudos to Matt. I'm not even sure what that is.
I think it's Donald.
There's an interesting. There's one video I saw. I don't know. I don't think it may not be under this feed here, but if I can come across it here in a minute, it'll be funny. It's some of the ICE protesters or anti-ICE protesters were going around and slapping. I don't even know how you say it.
A sticker?
Not a sticker. I just don't know if I can say the word on YouTube. So
could you describe it? Can you act it out in 3 words?
I don't know, but I don't even know if I'm not even gonna like do a what do you call it, the charade? Not charade. Charades. Let's see.
Word, what does the first word start with?
It starts with a D.
Okay. Is it?
It sounds like
it
sounds like a dill pickle, but it's a dill something else. And they're like slapping them on. It's the things that females would use.
Is it a representation of a part of male anatomy?
Yes, there we go.
So,
let her brain go to work. Yes, and they're slapping them on the federal vehicles.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'll come across that video or not, but I saw it earlier, and I thought that was kind of funny. Creative, but so what'd you get in trouble for? What federal charge you get charged against? I was slapping this thing on federal vehicles. Can you imagine telling your friends and family what your charge is? Anyways, all right, I digress. Let's go back. Let's see what else. Anything else is trending, happening. House Republicans advance Save America Act for voter ID and citizen proof. Okay. I think. What do you think about the Save America Act?
Well, so this was
introduced. Do you know much about it?
Well, no, I don't know a lot about it, but just reading here, introduced by Chip Roy last month, and mandating documented proof of voter registration plus a photo ID at polling places. I definitely
we already do that.
This.
Yeah.
So I mean,
we already do that here in Texas.
I have to show my ID, confirm my identity, my address,
yeah,
and make sure that I vote in the precinct where I'm registered.
Yeah.
So in Texas, this is already required. At least where we live in Texas, I don't know what
it should be. I think
are not
the whole state
participating in this, but non-citizens shouldn't be voting. Definitely not in federal elections. If you're a non-citizen and your town in California allows non-citizen voting in local elections, then
that's up to your local.
Fine, so be it.
Yeah.
Your state, your municipality can govern how state and local elections are governed. That is what it says in the Constitution. However, when our Constitution was written, rampant illegal immigration wasn't a huge problem in the United States the way it is now, and the way that votes are manipulated and people who are not citizens are encouraged to vote illegally in order to maintain strangleholds in certain districts of this country by certain political parties or a certain political party. These, non-citizens shouldn't be voting. They just shouldn't. They haven't earned the right to do so.
I agree. What do you think of what Tom Cotton replied? Let's call it like it is. Chuck Schumer opposes voter ID because he wants to make it easy to commit voter fraud.
I would have to agree with that.
Yeah, I think so.
So also Chuck Schumer gets lots of money from NGOs and special interest groups who have a vested interest in mass illegal immigration because it destabilizes communities. It creates strife in communities. It makes people poorer. to have large numbers of illegal immigrants in their districts. And so when you have a ton of poor people in your district, then you can get more state and federal funding for your district. And then you can go marching back to your district looking like a hero, saying, look how much funding I got for you. And the whole reason that those people qualified for any of that funding is because you allowed for mass illegal immigration of people who can't get jobs and who are dependent upon government resources in order to survive and, live in an area.
I don't really follow Laura Ingraham much. I probably hadn't watched her in 15, 20 years, but I think her statement's pretty good there. Imagine being in a political movement that feels it cannot win if voter ID is required.
Right. Well,
there you have it.
I think that most Americans are pretty reasonable, and people who grew up here and who are natural born citizens, they have an idea of what America is and what America isn't. And a lot of people who come here, whether legally or illegally, with mass immigration into this country, we bring in tons of people who don't really care about America, don't want to be Americans. They are coming to America so that they can take advantage of our free market economy and the economic benefits of living here, but they don't really care about Americans. They don't really care about becoming American other than for the ability to take advantage of our resources. And so, if we're going to keep opening our doors and letting people rape us from behind, then that's what you're going to get. And you're going to get tons of illegal voting, tons of illegal immigration. And those are the people who are voting for people like Chuck Schumer. So I'd have to agree with Laura Ingraham on that one.
Be careful with that R word.
Sorry.
I think that R word is a
no. You
might
have to bleep it out.
I think it's a no on YouTube. I've seen other people bleep it out, so we'll see if I get struck down.
Over my face.
Maybe later. I paused and looked at the camera on that one. Where did it go? I saw it on here. Thought I saw it twice. It talked about. Oh yeah. This Pamela Hensley says Mike Pence just came out against the SAVE Act, which requires U.S. citizenship to vote. Mike Pence will be forever known as Benedict Arnold. Somebody else, I thought it was Roger Stone. I saw one by Roger Stone. I think said the same thing. Yeah, right here about the same thing about Mike Pence torching it. He literally is a moron, per Roger Stone. Okay. Right. I want to watch this little clip here. It seems like this lady's going viral. I've seen it. It's come across a couple times here on the feed. Let's just see what she's saying.
What they're trying to do here is the same thing.
She's bashing Chuck Schumer.
South for decades to prevent people of color from voting.
See, this is where my righteous anger pop up, because I know what he's saying is a lie. I live in the South. I've been living in the South my whole life on the Gulf Coast. I go to vote every single time there's an election. And guess what? I show my ID. I write my signature. They check to make sure who I am. I go vote. No problems. Nobody asking me any questions. Nobody making me count the jelly beans in the jar. Pumping us in the people of color category. We're Black Americans. And we are citizens. And nobody is taking away our right to vote. What they're doing is they're using Black people, going back in the past, provoking emotional manipulation. Because even though they say Jim Crow or slavery, Black people are going to be like, oh my God, he's right. They're coming against us. This has nothing to do with you, Black people. Wake up. People of color he's talking about is illegal migrants. They don't have IDs. That's their new voting base. Letting these people use you. I've been having an ID since I was 15 years old. I'm 50 years old. Every Black person I know.
She looks good for 50.
She does look good for 50.
You need an ID to drive.
She looks good for 40.
You need an ID to go into a club. You need an ID to fly on a plane. You need an ID to go into another country. You need an ID to buy liquor. You need an ID to buy cigarettes. I don't know any Black person without an ID. Even the
and that's the amazing thing. I mean,
JJ down the street that dig in the trash can that I pass by, he always bothering me about a little bit of money. And
he's got ID.
A little giving, I give him $5. Guess what he do? He goes straight into the liquor store and go buy him some liquor. But before he do, he present his ID. So even a homeless man got an ID. Black people, y'all can keep letting these liberals play in y'all face. But Malcolm X warned y'all about these people. They're using you.
He did warn about the white liberals. Okay, that's good. That we can listen to that all day. All right.
So
I mean, spot on.
Just Jen RX, she said it. I couldn't agree with her more.
Well,
and
I don't know if that's Jen Arx just posting the
Oh,
video.
God.
I don't know who the lady
So
is.
whoever this lady is, but the way that she said that, I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself, and I wouldn't even attempt to. But I think that that sentiment is valid and obviously sincerely held by that person, and so. Yeah, it's really sick how the Democrats, how any politician will manipulate Black people to vote or to think one way or another based on fear and using their race to lure them into certain ways of thinking versus
Sorry.
talking to them like the independent, autonomous, intelligent people that they are. You know, they wouldn't talk down to other people that way, and I think it's really it's demeaning. It really is to assume that somebody doesn't have an ID or can't vote just
because of the color of their skin. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So we got rid of not being able to vote because of the color of your skin in this country a long time ago.
So as I keep scrolling, I always come across her name. You know, that
And
rep.
Paulina Luna.
To me, it's a tongue twister. I always struggle saying her name, Anna Paulina Luna. If I try to say it real fast 3 times in a row, I probably will. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so yeah, just kind of more of the same. I think a lot of people are wanting it to pass, and we'll see what comes about.
Yeah, we'll see. If,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a pretty tight margin in the House and in the Senate, and
Here we go.
we'll
Switching
see what happens.
gears real quick. Let's just pop up on the Explorer. You know, the trending for you. Blah blah blah. Hillary, tomorrow's the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle, New England, both 14-3.
Mm-hmm. Who do I want to win?
Who do you
or
want? Who
I
do you think's
think
going
is
to
gonna
win? And who do you? Okay, who do you think's going to win? And who do you want to win? Let's put it that
You
way.
know, I think it's.
I think it's going to be the same.
I don't have a dog in this fight
No.
personally.
We're from
I
Texas, so no.
I just don't. So no dog in this fight. Both of these teams are excellent. Watching Seattle progress through the playoffs, their defense is really aggressive. So I think that that's going to make things really difficult for New England. New England can definitely put points on the board, but you know, they really didn't face a defense as strong and fast and aggressive as Seattle throughout the playoffs. So I'm going to be really interested to see how this game goes and wonder if England's going to be able to put points on the board the way that they did in the playoffs against teams like Denver.
There you have it, guys. My wife, smart with football. So me too. I think I'm going to say the same thing. I think I'd like to see Seattle win because New England has won, I don't know, 6, 7. I don't remember how many now. They've lost count over the last 20 years. So they've been there definitely more than their fair share. And they've already, you know, even since they last won one, they tore down the whole system and rebuilt it back within like 3 or 4 years to go back to the Super Bowl again. And I'm like, this is just maddening because, you know,
it wasn't just about Tom Brady and it wasn't just about Bill Belichick. This is, you know, the Patriots are the Yankees of football.
Yeah, they have been the last 26 years or so. Yeah. So I'll probably root for the Seattle Seahawks just because I don't have any other reason really. You know, our local team hasn't been in the Super Bowl in 30-something years. Y'all can probably figure that out since I said Texas. Anyways, yeah, okay. Good prediction. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. You know what? I think we'll end up in that on the high note with the Super Bowl prediction. I think we'll go ahead and stop the video here, guys. What do you think? Let us know what you like, don't like. Make sure you like and subscribe. And any last words?
No, I just everybody enjoy your Super Bowl, and maybe we'll be back next week and we'll talk about what's in our X feed and you know, get some commentary on current events and what other people are saying in the world of politics.
All right, guys. Catch you on the next one.